Stop the count. Stop the count. Stop the count. This feeling a little bit like election season. All right. So earlier today, I saw that Billboard has some delays in its update of the Billboard 200, right? And on our album numbers, what's going to be number one, two, three, whatever on the charts. Now, we did get the prediction a few days ago, which I told you guys, hey, it looks like GNX is going to be the number one album again. And it's going to be a number one album for the third week. And it was very, very close with the Drake record, Some Sexy Songs for You, coming at about 89,000 to Kendrick's 90 something and some change. Well, it looks like they updated that because those projections were supposed to be a lot closer. And they were only separated by about 500 units. Now, come on, I got to hit y'all with the slogan, HQ and HQ LLP. You know, we got our slogan. Numbers aren't the only thing, but they do tell a story. I'm not really a huge fan of using numbers to like do stand arguments, but I get it. I get why it exists. I get why stands exist, period. For me, I like to use numbers a lot to try to understand what's going on before I come up to y'all. And for me, it's really simple, right? Like all this talk about who else is in music, all this talk about the other genres, and I know they weren't newer releases and stuff like that, but it's still the Tate McRae's or whatever her name is of the world that, had projects, and Sabrina Carpenter Deluxes. But it's clear to me that there's still some top dogs. Rap is still a top genre. Kendrick, Drake, still top dogs. You know what I'm saying? You have Kendrick on his 13th week. I've already told you guys about Super Bowl and all that stuff. That doesn't mean that I think that Kendrick doesn't have staying power or the album doesn't have replay value. I use facts, though. I'm not feeling some of y'all getting sensitive about me telling you that the Super Bowl halftime show being on YouTube, hitting 100 million views. Shout out to Dot on that one. That's bringing in newer viewers, newer listeners that are revisiting this project that will most likely go back to the project that's newer, right? You got singles out there that's being worked as far as Squabble Up. So we don't need to debate that, right? But I know how I can tell that story, you know what I'm saying? Then I can tell Drake's story as far as, it's on the third week. But for me, again, joint album, Party Next Door, R&B project, but still the fact that it can stay up here, even on its third week, compete, be short by 500 units or so for that number one spot. It's pretty impressive. It really means that, I know the narratives, the cultural narratives on whose career is gone and whose era it is right now. It shows that there's a lot of competition between these two guys. And even the third one, that's like middle child. You flip the coin and he was showing up on the Billboard Hot 100 with a free verse, right? A little freestyle from a blog. So, sometimes I do get scared, like, damn, who's going to take the mantle from these guys? But when I watch this WWE